Hi guys, welcome to this quick video comparison between these two multi-port chargers. I actually want to show you the best multi-port charger for around, I would say, $25–30 in this price area. There are not so many multi-port chargers available which have nice displays. I mean, this is much nicer than what you see. It has a really nice display. It has just a problem with the camera. Camera does a little bit produce such flickering and mirroring and so on. Probably same here, maybe here it's a little bit showing better, but when you see both displays, this one is actually better. I mean, I'm going to show you a couple of things, and at the very end it will be a very clear decision. This is on the market since quite some time, 60 watts. This is rather a new one, it is 100 watts, and it has wireless charge built in, so you can put a phone on top of it and even charge it. So, and the price of these devices is pretty similar. They are around $25, sometimes a little bit lower, sometimes a little bit higher. So which one can I really recommend? I mean, the functionality of this one is much higher. It has fast charge, it has quick charge 3.0, it has even PD. Here we have the normal ports, and here we have just 7 normal ports and USB-C, but it's not PD, it's not charging with higher voltage also. It's just everything what we have here. It's just 5 volts. Here we can have a little bit higher voltage. I think it's up to 12 volts. So is it really a huge advantage with this device? No, actually not. It's rather a disadvantage. Yeah, at the very end, most of the advantages are actually with this device. It's very interesting. Most people wouldn't believe that, but it is really the case. An advantage here we have, of course, we have with the wireless charge. If you're opting for the version with the wireless charge, that's working 10 watts. You can put it on top and then you have 10 watts. You have tried that, really works. What I like that we have numbers for each slot here right on top, so you don't have to guess where it is. If you plug in here, you have the numbers on top. Here you have to do a little bit look into that. I mean, of course you'll figure out usually, I mean, it's probably rather rare that you have occupied all the 8 ones and then you have to look which one is which one. So sometimes we have maybe 1, 2, 3 or so, and then you know about which one it is. I mean, there are small numbers printed here, but it's a little bit difficult to read. Here we have the numbers, but there are a couple of huge advantages here and disadvantages here. So first disadvantage here is when we plug something in. I have a camera here plugged in or at the other end of this cable, and when I plug in this cable here, I come a little bit closer and you can see that the amps are jumping up and down. When we wait a little bit longer, you can see sometimes it's going down to even 0.1, 0.2, and sometimes it goes up to 1.2, 1.3. I have even seen 1.5. Now you have seen the 1 point something. It shows more than 1 amps, but it is actually not delivering this amps. So when we use this USB meter, we can see that the charge is pretty solid at 0.4 or 0.5. You can see that here, and here on this display it's jumping around like crazy, so we don't have any reliable indication how much it's charging. That's so much better. Here we plug it in and we see it is now at 0.6, 0.7, and after a couple of seconds it stabilizes, and now it's at 0.7 and it stays at 0.7. I mean, it can adapt over time, but this thing is really showing what's delivering at this port. This thing is just showing any random numbers. I mean, not totally random, but sometimes way off. That's insane. Yeah, what we also see, that's a huge advantage here. We see the watts. I mean, that's a total watts of everything, but it's also good to know because we have a total of 60 watts. And when you have plugged in a lot of devices, it's really interesting to see how many watts you are using, because I wouldn't recommend to go too close to the maximum, maybe 50 watts or so, and you can easily see this here. Also the manufacturer here says, yeah, okay, we have 100 watts and we have overcharge and over temperature detection, but still they say, yeah, be careful not to use not to charge too many devices at the same time, because it can get too hot and then damage the device, or at least reduce the lifetime. Definitely stay away from the 100 watts. But how can you know that you are at 100 watts when you have just the volts and amps? You need a calculator and do the math, like you need 5 minutes to do the whole math here. I mean, here we have the watts when we put a phone on top. When we put a phone on top, I hope you can see that here, and we get some wireless charge anytime soon. Sometimes it takes quite some time, but now you can see that here it's showing 5 watts. Sometimes after sometimes usually it goes up to 10 watts, but that's just the wireless charge. Apart from the wireless charge, it's not showing any watts. That's really a bad thing. You can see that here. I can plug it in again. You see a battery sign and you see the voltage and you see the amps, but there is no watts. So definitely a huge disadvantage. And when you think, yeah, it has much more power, I mean, it has a quick charge, it has the PD, I have to disappoint you, because yeah, you have a higher voltage here up to 12 volts, but the amps are a lot reduced. When you're using these things, PD and QC with 12 volts, then the maximum amps is reduced to 1.5, which is then a total of 18 watts per port. And here you have also around 18 watts. It's just higher amps. It sticks with the 5 volts here everywhere, but it can produce up to around 3.5 amps, and that's also around 18 watts. So this thing is actually not charging your device faster than this one. And the display is definitely nice. I mean, imagine you have it here. This is a normal viewing angle, and here you really have to bend down really hard to see it. Otherwise it's impossible to read this thing, because it's a little bit recessed, so it's almost impossible to see the numbers from a normal viewing angle. And here you have it on top, very easily visible. And there's one thing I almost forgot to mention, that it's almost the biggest advantage of this fast charger here, and they do not even mention that. And yeah, now you have seen this right away. This is crazy. When I just move my hand here in the direction of the charger, because it's a wireless charger and it's all the time a little bit scanning what's around, it just turned on the LCD display. So both of them do not permanently provide background illumination. Just when you plug it in, like this thing here, I can show you that when you plug it in, it starts charging, you have the illumination, then it lasts for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and even though it's still charging, the background illumination will go away. It's exactly same thing here. So if it's black, even when it's turned on, it will start to illuminate maybe for 5-10 minutes or so, and then after that it will turn off. And because there are no buttons here on these devices, it's impossible to we cannot do anything. I mean, especially with this thing here, I can't do anything. Now with this device, I can just hold my hand here and I have the illumination. This is almost one of the biggest advantages which I see, and it's not even mentioned in the description. So overall, many advantages for the Slit Into, and I would highly recommend to buy this one instead of this one. If you need wireless charge, okay, then maybe go with this one, or rather buy an extra wireless charger and attach it here. You will have the much better user experience. But if you have limited budget, you need the wireless charge, and you don't mind to not seeing the real values, yeah, why not to go with this one? I'm not saying it's not charging, it's powerful, but this one definitely provides the much better user experience. But I'll put down the links to the Amazon listings of both of the devices down into the description, so you can check them out and order the one which you like the most. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.